Kevin's not missing.
Yeah. No.
Well, first and foremost, took the film on Sunday. The part that I thought our guys, I gave our coaches and our players, they invested a lot last week in the preparation to go over there and give everything they could. Liked our work on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. First half was one of those things that just couldn't get out of that field position battle. And again, it kind of unfolded as we talked about after the game. But in retrospect, there were a lot of guys that you get caught in the moment. You don't realize how many guys had to pop in there. To lose Yelda, to lose Austin Cantrell, two of your more formidable players on offense, have guys step into it. I thought Will Gregg, in addition to Jeremy Patton, really stepped it up. And Jack Krause, it was actually a blessing to get Jack back out there. He'd missed a couple games of concussion, so that was there. We just got to continue to find more players, and give us better relief in the second half, and do a better job as coaches as well. From an injury standpoint, unfortunately, the most significant, Ty Clary, is probably looking at a 6-week recovery. He sprained his MCL. Nothing surgical. Fortunately for that, nothing surgical, but unfortunately it takes a long time for that baby to repair. So the MCL will get itself back in there. Yelda, it's the other ankle. It wasn't the ankle that he injured earlier in the year. It was the other ankle, maybe a little bit more significant, but do expect him to get back later in this week. Don't know if we'll have him practice tomorrow, but expect him back out there, and I know he's doing everything he can. Austin Cantrell, all the x-rays and all the further tests were all negative. He did suffer a significant bruise on the outside part of the knee, which made it real tender to plant and drive, which prohibited him from coming back in. We kept C.J. O'Grady at home last weekend, so he was able to actually stay here and get treatments with some of our medical people here during the course of the weekend, and is, I think, full go, going to be back with us tomorrow. Looked good yesterday, was popping around, so those four significant guys offensively, and then also on defense. Drake Coley was cleared for the game. He played a little bit for us on special teams. I think just the way the game unfolded, ball didn't put him in there, but should be all right this week moving forward, as healthy as he's been the last 3 or 4 weeks as we got going. So Austin, really no issues. I read him on Sunday, said how do you feel, and he said really the only soreness I have is in my legs, just being out there running around and playing a game as long as he did. That was really the only thing sore, nothing significant in the shoulder, and I think he'll be back better this week more than ever. Then obviously in the same room, non-injury, but obviously the news of Cole Kelly. Here's where I'm at. One of the things I put out there yesterday, I hadn't even been able to talk to Cole or his parents yet, so I just obviously put out news that we were made aware of it. He's got a court date on Wednesday. He's indefinitely suspended from our program. This week he will not be involved with us and will not play on Saturday. He's got a court date on Wednesday. Depending on the information out of there, he's been pretty honest and upfront with me all the way through. Obviously there's court proceedings going on, so I won't comment about specifics other than he's very disappointed. We were disappointed. It's a learning lesson that I hope he takes full advantage of, as well as our team. When it happened on Sunday morning, my first reflection is he safe? Is there anybody else involved, and is there everybody safe in the entire incident? So that was a positive, but obviously something could come very, very negative out of those situations. So an awareness factor there for our guys. The part that I think he has to understand is, not only to be an Arkansas Razorback, but to be a quarterback at start of games here is a very, very big deal. And social media and everything else around it, he's going to be held to a higher standard. The blessings that you give can also be your biggest burden. So he's going to have to do a lot of growing up in a short amount of time. Had conversations with his parents, and we're all on board moving forward. For however long the suspension, through this week for sure, through Saturday, I think he's got to understand what life can be like without football. And also address all the other issues. If he does all that, we'll kind of address it at that point moving forward. So really, other than that, we jump into our Mississippi State preparation. I'm sure a lot of you, as well as myself, came back Saturday night, watched that game, and watched them go toe-to-toe with Alabama. And a really, really good football team. Our quarterback is a very, very talented player. We've known that competing against him. They've made a tremendous spike on defense as well from a year ago with the new philosophy, new way of doing things. So very tough task on Saturday, but excited to be back home. And I really tried to emphasize and I think our kids have bought into it. Everybody wants to jump to, you know, the possibility of 6, and all that goes into it. The only way you get to 6 is to get to 5, and that's Mississippi State this week. The only thing we have in front of us is our preparation for tomorrow. We'll focus on that, get to Wednesday, get to Thursday, get to Friday, and then 11 o'clock kick on Saturday. So with that, open up questions.
So, Colin,